friends, my name is Alex and I want to welcome you to the Finding Lost Civilization series. Today we're going to trek to Fossil Falls and Little Lake, which are two archaeological sites located adjacent to each other in Inyo County, California. Now, man has lived in this area from 10 to 20,000 years ago. Today, when you look at the landscape, it looks somewhat desert-like and barren. However, thousands of years ago, this area was lush, verdant, and had an abundance of water to support life. Now, one of the most interesting aspects of this area is the vast amount of obsidian flakes that can be found on the ground and the symbols left behind by ancient man. I tell you, today's journey is going to be fascinating, and I invite you to come trek with me. Well, friends, we're here at Fossil Falls, and this is a very interesting area right over here. We've come upon a place that I would call a workstation. And what I mean by a workstation, this was an area where a lot of work was produced to make points, spear points, arrow points, and whatnot. Because on the ground you can see what we call lithic scatter. Lithic meaning stone or rock. If you look at this right over here, this is all obsidian flakes, and these flakes occur when they've got a big piece of obsidian and they're trying to work it into an arrowhead or a spear point. Look at this right over here laying on the ground. This here was on the way to being a point, okay, whether it was a spear point or an arrow point, but something went wrong in the manufacturing process, and so they just left it here and continued on with another piece to form an arrowhead, a knife, or a spear point. This whole area right here is littered with these obsidian flakes. It's quite amazing. Well, one of the things that I'm doing right here is following the line of this lithic scatter. I'm going to follow it right here. It's adjacent to a large boulder outcrop. So we'll see where it takes us. We're in a shaded area, and of course over here the sun's coming through. But we'll follow the lithic scatter. Let me show you again over here real close what it looks like. Right over here, there it is. This is part of the lithic scatter. And the lithic scatter here is exclusively obsidian. So what we'll do, it seems to run here in a continuous line. And look at this. It ends at this large boulder right over here. And the wonderful thing about this boulder is, again, it's affirmation that the ancients were here. Aside from the lithic scatter, look at this right over here. We have several petroglyphs. This is a beautiful one here. To me, it looks like some kind of shamanic human figure. You can see the body, and look how the legs and the arms end here in little circles right over here. Very beautiful. So right over here, look at this, a small spiral, and then over here some what I'll call archaic, abstract, curvilinear symbol. Let's see over here. Here's another one. This is often called the rake. It looks like one of these metal rakes right over here, this being the backbone and I guess the teeth coming down. And over here, here's another figure. And again over here, a series of intersecting lines. It looks like a triple cross. This is really a fabulous site, and if we look down on the ground where this boulder is, you can see again lithic scatter. So this was what I call a workstation area. They were here at this very spot working the obsidian to make tools so that life for them would be easier. They were making knives, spear points, arrow points, and all manner of objects with obsidian over here. Well, as I was trekking in a Fossil Falls area, I saw this right over there, that post, so I thought I would go inspect it. And as I came closer to the post, I saw this beautiful panel. There's 6 bighorn sheep on this panel. Very, very petite and really beautiful. There you go. as I was looking at these, I guess, bighorn sheep, this panel, I turned around to this boulder right over here, and oh my goodness, what this is here is what's called a grinding slick. Look at this. It's right here chest level. You can see right over here how the patina is worn out, and also right over here. But this stone was used to grind seeds, so this was a food preparation site right here. And over there also, you can tell over here the patina is worn out, but the real giveaway that this is a grinding slick is this is very smooth, smooth as silk. Well, directly in front of us, right there at that little corner, is where we saw the bighorn sheep. So I walked further down over here, and there's this big boulder right here. And if you take a look up there, there's some petroglyphs up there in the archaic style. Very, very nice. One of the things that I'll do is, let's see if we can get a little closer. I'm not going to touch the petroglyphs or climb on them. But right over here, there's a little stepping ledge. Okay, so I'm going up. And look at that, right over here. On this ledge right here, there's some more petroglyphs that we can see. So this is really, really fascinating. We're on our right track. I know this area teemed with life at one time, and so we're going to explore this area called Fossil Falls and capture the essence of the ancient life that once existed here. This is interesting. My friend Doug was hiking in this area, and right on that boulder he saw a hawk, and so as he approached, the hawk flew away. And so he came closer, and look at this right over here. So the hawk had just caught something. There's the intestines, there's the fur, and I'm going to show you what this animal was that the hawk had caught and was eating. I mean, this just happened, minutes ago. But let me get up over here and walk along over here, and let me see if we can find it right over here on the ground. Well, there you go, I see it. So we're approaching it over here, and so we saw the intestines, but right over here we know now what the animal was that the hawk had captured. Look at this, a desert jackrabbit. Here it is. This is a fresh kill, so to speak. The hawk was eating this rabbit when Doug arrived, and there you have it. So that was typical of how a hawk eats its prey. It pulled out the intestines and internal, so to speak. So this is somewhat very interesting, and with respect to being out here in nature and seeing how things like this work. Look at this right over here. Can you see this? Can you see that print of a animal or a hand? Let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think this is the thumb. So this would be the right hand right over here. This is very old because you can barely see it. And I want to show you another very interesting petroglyph right over here. As you're walking along, you'd probably miss it because look at this. It has returned to its original patina, but if you look, you'll see a circular pattern right here, a circular pattern with a cross right here through this circular pattern. So this is very, very, very old. goodness, that's a beautiful rock. Well, let's continue. You can hear that I'm breathing hard. Okay, so we're approaching this boulder right here. Very beautiful. A lot of symbols. Okay. Whew. So there you have it. Well, friends, I've climbed to the top of the mesa, and as I came here to the lip, I saw this over here. Look, you see these stones, these boulders right here? They're stacked up right over here. Let me get down, and we'll get a view from its back end over here, and you can see for yourself. Okay, I'm going to turn around now, and there it is. You can see the stacking of the stones right there in front of us. My supposition, I'm guessing that this had something to do with a place, a blind, a hunting blind, where the hunter would hide behind these rocks over here. Because look, right over here, when we see this trail where it climbed up, you know, animals use it as well as humans. So this is a real great, what I'll call a spot to hunt from, an ambush spot to catch an animal by surprise. And as further evidence that man was here, aside from the fact that this right here looks like it's stacked and that this is a hunting blind, look at this right over here. We have some depotage. Let me pick it up. And here, okay. And here's another piece right here. Let me pick this up. And there it is. Can you see that right here? This here is obsidian. So the ancients were sitting up here and working the obsidian to make points or for arrows or spears for their hunting, which was occurring right here at this very spot.